Hey everybody, and welcome to scenario number 3 of our Arkham Horror live play series, this time for the League of Extraordinary Investigators Season 7. A competitive league of Arkham Horror the card game players. This is my first experience in the league. It's been fun so far. We're taking Leo Anderson through the B-side campaign of the Dream Eaters set of scenarios. So we are in scenario number 3 of campaign B of Dream Eaters, and that is Point of No Return. So we are all set up for our game already. We have indicated that Randolph did indeed survive the descent. For those who haven't tuned in quite yet, our story so far is that we have friends who are in the Dreamlands. They are asleep. And their bodies are in the real world sleeping. We want to wake them, and so in a quest to do so, this weirdo named Randolph Carter has led us to this place called the Underworld. We've gotten there by going down some creepy stairs underneath a creepy manor house called the Unnameable, and now here we are, having entered the Dreamlands, not asleep as most people do, but in our waking bodies. In a place called the Underworld, which is very strange indeed. So we've got Leo Anderson as our investigator. Our deck I've upgraded by adding another Cyclopean hammer because I want to get that thing out. There's a lot of combat in this scenario. I'd like to be able to hit some things, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, so with all that, we'll read our agenda and act cards and get on with the scenario. Agenda 1, a sinister realm. The Underworld is a cavernous realm, almost another world unto itself. Its ceiling is so far in the distance that it might as well be a somber, overcast sky. The walls of the caverns are dimly lit by a flickering gray light with no apparent source. You wander through the twisting catacombs in search of the way forward, but you can't shake the feeling that you're being followed. Creepy. Okay, Act 1A, Entering the Underworld, Version 2. You have succeeded in reaching the Dreamlands, but this is not quite what you expected. You are in the Underworld, and it will take some work to find your bearings in this sinister place. Okay, so we can kill enemies to take clues from them if they have a clue, and we kill the enemy, we get control of that clue. And our objective is find Richard Upton Pickman, and we'll be instructed when to advance. Okay, so we'll go ahead and shuffle our encounter deck, and then move on down where we will shuffle our player deck and draw our opening hand. And there's Randolph Carter right there, as well as a Cyclopean hammer. Well, this is a good way to start. Okay, we'll keep our Cyclopean hammer for sure. I don't mind Randolph here. Somebody like Greta Wagner would be slightly better, but Randolph's okay. Pretty alright with that. Decoy, I think we'll probably throw back because we might want that later, not right now. Evidence, though, will be good because we're going to be killing some enemies and grabbing some clues off of killed enemies is okay. Mitch Brown, because I'm playing Randolph, I do have charisma, but I don't have very many generic allies in the deck, so Mitch for me is pretty much just there for the wild icons. I think I'll throw him back and see what else I can get. So we'll keep these 3 and mulligan the other 2. Okay, we got a med student and a survival knife. Well, that'll be okay, I think. We'll have to see how it goes. Okay, so we'll shuffle those back up. And there is our starting hand. Okay, so we begin here at the Vaults of Zen, a 3-shroud location with 1 clue on it, and we will get going here. Okay, let's see. If I play Randolph, I can play him for 2 resources because of Leo's ability. So if I bring him out for 2, I can then I'll have 3. I can resource and play Cyclopean hammer, so I'll have finished turn 1 with the hammer and Randolph out. The nice part about having Randolph out early is if I draw Elder Sign symbols, I can draw cards, which is for me pretty good. So I think that might be what we do. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So we'll use Leo's ability. And so before my turn begins, which is now, we'll play Randolph Carter, an ally, by reducing his cost by 1. So we play him for 2. 2 resources. Okay. Then we'll play him. And that is pre-turn for free. Hooray. Okay, so turn begins, and we're going to go action 1 resource, action 2 resource, action 3 Cyclopean Hammer. And that's going to be our whole turn. Okay, upkeep time. We get a perception, and of course a resource. And we put a doom on the agenda. 1 of 5. I think I already shuffled this. I always have to be sure. Back down here we go, and we get Rotting Remains. Okay, so Randolph boosts our will by 1, so our will is actually 5. So we got 5 on 3 for this test. And Elder Thing is -3. Okay, if we fail by 2 or more, we don't. We fail by 1, only 1. Okay, so each point we fail by, we take a horror. We'll put that horror on Randolph. And it's back to us and some investigating. Okay. So, we didn't get an enemy or anything fun that we could use evidence to deal with. I think we... Let's see. 3 plus 2... Okay, I can... With perception, I can go 2 up and investigate here. 2 up is okay for this bag right now. The only thing that sinks me bad stuff wise would be the Elder Thing that I just drew. But it might be worth doing just to go ahead and get a clue. Although I don't want to flip this one quite yet, I don't think. Well, we could. Actually, we could. Let's see if this works. A plan is formulating here. Okay, so we're going to try to investigate. We are at 3 intellect. We're going to commit perception to go up by 2 because the shot here is 3. So we're up 2 on this test. We are investigating for action 1. And we pass. Okay, perception gets us a card. It's Lone Wolf. That's excellent. Okay, we also get this clue. Okay, and I will go ahead and flip the veiled location here. Hisses and uncanny voices pursue you throughout this web of dark and intersecting tunnels. You believe the myriad paths might lead all the way to the surface of the Dreamlands, considering the vastness of this network of caverns. It is a wonder you can even find your way back to where you started. However, you're not alone when you emerge. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for a gassed enemy, and spawn it here, exhausted, and with 1 clue on it. Shuffle the encounter deck. Okay, so we get to put a gassed in play. Okay, here's a gassed right there. In fact, hunting gassed. Okay, 2/2/3 enemy, not bad. Put him in play right here, and it said exhausted. Did say exhausted, right? Yep, exhausted and with 1 clue on it. Okay, so we can kill him and take a clue from him. Now, I wish he wasn't exhausted, because I really would like for him to have engaged me so that I could drag him down here. But that's not what we have, not yet. Okay, so we'll have to deal with that next turn. We can bring him with us and take care of some things. So since that's not the case, let's go ahead and play Lone Wolf here for action 2. Get some resources in our pocket for later on. Okay, and then for action 3, I think we'll go ahead and draw a card. Another Lone Wolf. Okay, well, is what it is. Okay, so that's our 3 actions. That's 2 and 3 were Lone Wolf and draw. Okay, we will upkeep. Okay. We get more evasion tokens, or icons, I mean. The ghast will ready and engage us. And then we will put a doom, 2 doom of 5. And we draw Whispers of Hypnos. Okay, so we have to choose a skill for the remainder of the round. We get -2 to that skill. I pretty much always, with Leo, will choose agility because I'm not evading anything. I'm just going to punch stuff. So we will choose agility to have -2, too. So our agility is currently -1. Okay, so our turn begins with us engaged with a ghast. I want to move him down to here so we can get this clue off of this 4-shroud location with evidence. So I'm going to move, taking in an attack of opportunity as I do. He hits me for 1 and 1, both of which I put on Randolph Carter. And then, having moved, I almost forgot at the start of my turn, before my, when my turn begins, I get a resource. Forgot that for Lone Wolf. Got that now. Okay, so that was action 1 was move. Action 2 is going to be to kill this ghast. We're going to kill him with the Cyclopean Hammer. Okay, so we get to add our will to our skill value for the attack. Our fight is 4. Our will is currently 5. So we're going to swing at 9. We'll deal +1 damage, which is enough to kill the ghast. So the rest of that we don't need to worry about yet. Okay, so we're swinging at 9. 9 on 2. Okay, skull is -X, where X is the amount of damage on this card. That's a 0. The ghast is killed. We gain his clue. That was action 2. And when that happens, we will play evidence fast to gain this clue. Okay, that is all quite good. Am I ready to flip this one yet? I don't think I am. I'm going to wait and give myself another turn or two because I'm making good clue progress and I already have the hammer. I think I can go ahead and move up here, deal with the Gug that comes out here, and have a shot at getting this done, which leads to a location up here, which leads to some extra victory points. Because it's a competitive scenario, I would like to try to maximize victory points, and this is a 2 victory point location that appears up here, so I think we're going to try to get that done. Okay, so action 1 was move, action 2 was hammer a Gug, or I'm sorry, hammer a ghast, and then action 3 in my case, I think is going to be to go ahead and draw another card. It's a vicious blow. That is just fine by me. Okay, so that was action 3, was draw a card. And with all that, we are donezo. Okay, so we will upkeep. Ah, we got another evidence. Okay, that's good. That can be useful. All right. We have 3 of 5 doom. Our encounter card is Rotting Remains again. Okay, so we're at 5 on 3 for will. -4. All right, so that brings us down to 1. So that means we fail by 2, which means we have to take 2 horror. Now, I'm not ready to say goodbye to Randolph quite yet. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 2 horror myself. Okay. All right, so that's that. Our turn begins before or after our turn begins. These are both after our turn, or when your turn. This is after our turn. So when our turn begins, we get a resource. And then after our turn begins, we can play an ally asset, reducing its cost by 1. So here I will go ahead and play the med student and put her into play. And when she enters play, I can heal 1 damage and 1 horror from an investigator ally at my asset. That'll be Leo. 1 damage, 1 horror. Okay. Alright, so now the turn begins first for... Well, now the turn has started. So this is action 1. Action 1 is I'm going to move into the city of Gugs. Okay, when I enter the city of Gugs, I have to flip this over and resolve its other side. That's action 1. Okay, so let's do that. The kingdom of the Gugs is surrounded by a colossal wall. Inside, cylindrical towers rise high into the mist. Each one windowless and made of gray stone, with large looming doorways at the bottom. One black tower stands paramount among the others, rising into the very ceiling of the underworld. You do not make it very far before you spot the sentry standing guard outside the city's walls, a tremendous creature with huge furry arms and an obscene toothy maw extending vertically through its head. Gross. Spawn the southside Gug sentinel enemy at this location with 1 per investigator clues on it, so just 1. Test agility 3. If you succeed, Gug sentinel enters exhausted and unengaged, otherwise it enters play engaged with you. Okay, so agility is not Leo's thing, so probably he's engaged with us, but that's okay because we have a hammer with his name on it. Okay, so we pull this guy out. 5, 2, 3, and he gets +2 per investigator health. Okay, so it's only 4 health, which isn't a lot of health. After Gugs sentinel readies, deal 1 horror to each investigator at its location. Yeah, it's not great. Okay, so yeah, so we're going to try and kill this fella. Well, first we're going to take this test. It's agility 3, and we're going to fail it because it's Leo. We're at 1 agility. So yeah, I mean, I guess I could make a real go of it and try to, like, you know, 1, 2, 3. I could get to 4 on 3, but I don't know that it's worth doing that necessarily. So I don't think I will. We're just going to go 1 on 3, and we fail. Funny, if I would have committed, I actually would have passed the test. That's really funny. Anyway, so this big fella is engaged with us. There he is. Okay, so that's action 1. We have to face this dude and see what we can do with him. Okay, so we're going to use the Cyclopean Hammer because we're swinging at 9 right now. He is not elite. Okay, so that means if we succeed and he's non-elite, we may move it 1 location away from us. If we succeed by 3 or more, we can instead deal 2 damage, +2 damage, and move it up to 2 locations away from us. Okay, so we can smack it and push it away, which is nice. But we can do 3 damage to it in a swing, depending on how this goes. So it should be a 2-swing deal, and we defeat the Gug. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so we're swinging at 9. 9 on 5. And that is currently a 0, so we succeed by 4, which puts 3 damage on the Gug. Okay, I'm not going to knock him away because I want to hit him again. That was action 2. Action 3, we hit him with the hammer 1 more time. 9 on 5. And there's once again a skull, which is a 0. And the Gug is defeated. He goes to the victory display. Okay, and I'm not going to use the evidence here because this is only a 2-shroud location, and I think I can get the clue without it, and I want to save the evidence for once we get up here. This is going to be a spot where evidence is going to be more important. Okay, so we're going to leave that clue where it is. So we moved, we hammered a Gug, we hammered a Gug again, and he is defeated. Hooray. Good turn. Okay, so with all that, we upkeep. And we get perception. Okay. Yeah. All right. We will put another Doom on the agenda. 4 of 5. And we get an encounter card. It's a Hunting Ghast. Okay. He will appear at our location. Not a big deal, but I really do wish I could just bring him with me. Does he hunt? He does hunt. Interesting. I might, this is weird for a Leo play, but I might think about evading him and letting him come up to us at that location a couple ahead. It'll take a couple of turns to do that, though. Yeah, maybe. It would just be nice to have an enemy on the field that we could use to evidence a clue here later in just a couple of minutes. Well, anyway, we can worry about that in a bit. Okay. When our turn begins, we get a resource. After our turn begins, we can play an ally, but we don't have one. So we don't. Okay, then it's us. You know, I think I might actually do this. Man, I'm still going to need some will icons, aren't I? Well, let's see how we do, I guess. See what happens. Lots of things could happen here. Okay. Yeah, I hope I'm not being too clever by half, but we'll see. Let's try it. We're going to play decoy and evade this Gug. Okay, so it's 2 resources, and we automatically evade him. He is evaded. Okay, that is action 1. Action 2, I think we might go ahead and try to pick up this clue while we're here. So we're at 4 on 1. Let's go ahead and get it. Or it's not on 1, is it? It's on 2. Yeah, 4 on 2. Let's go ahead and try it. 4 on 2. Oh, it's a fail. Okay, well, we'll come back for it then. I'm going to slide up here for action 3. Okay. This is the Tower of Koth. We've got this fight 5 test to lift the heavy stone trapdoor. If we succeed, we get to do the other side of it. I don't have enough icons really to make a fight 5 test yet, because I can only get to 4, 5, 6. I'm kind of hoping I might draw some more icons here. We'll see if I do. Okay, so action 1 was evade the ghast. Action 2 was try to investigate. Action 3 was move. That is the end of our turn. So we'll upkeep. Flashlight is not what I was looking for there. That's okay. And then he will ready. Okay. And then we go to 5 of 5 doom. Okay, so we advance and find out what happens. A sudden wave of pain and nausea passes over you, and for a brief moment it seems the very fabric of reality is tearing apart. The feeling passes quickly, but it's obvious that something is not quite right. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Place 1 damage on the scenario reference card. Okay, so we flip these over, put them back on top, shuffle it up, and we will put 1 damage on scenario reference card. Okay, so skulls are now -1. Okay, so having done all that, we draw yet another rotting remains. That's funny. Okay, so we are at 5 on 3, familiar test. -2 is a pass, so we're good. Okay, so now I stand on top of this stone, wanting to try to open it up. It is a fight 5. I currently have in my hand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. I could draw to try to get some more fight icons. I have a bunch in here. It should be fairly easy to find some. So I think I will at least draw. Yeah, I might draw twice. I'll let the Gug come to me. Let's see. Let's draw once and find out. Okay, so action 1, we're going to draw. Yes. I was just looking at my Cyclopean hammer, wishing that, oh, it'd be nice to draw the other Cyclopean hammer and get the icons on it. And then there it is. See, that's what happens. Sometimes good things happen. So we will be happy with the good thing here. And action 2, we'll go ahead and try to pass this Fight 5 test to flip the card over, to flip the heavy stone trapdoor. Okay, so Fight 5. Currently we're at 4. We're going to throw Cyclopean Hammer 5, 6, and the Knife 7. And I'm actually going to go ahead and throw a Vicious Blow here 8 to go up 3. Okay, so we're up 3 on the test. We'll see if it's enough. Wow. Just enough. Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad we didn't overcommit, and really glad we didn't undercommit. Okay, so we get to flip the card. Another path. Step after step, you scale the tower until you reach the heavy trapdoor at the top. When you push the stone aside, a column of bright light pierces through the shaft, blinding you. The surface. You emerge in an area thick with trees and mystical fog. After so many hours spent underground, the cool breeze feels wonderful. Many curious eyes watch you from the surrounding woods. Though you long to stay and explore more of these wilds, you know your true goal lies back down in the caverns below the surface. Put the set-aside Enchanted Woods stone trap door into play. Revealed. Recording the campaign log, the investigators found a way out of the underworld. Flip this card back over. Okay, so this is good for us because of XP. We'll pull out this Enchanted Woods location, which is our steel trapdoor. Stone trapdoor. Okay, when you're investigating this location, it gets +1 shroud for each card in your hand. It's got 1 clue, but it's got 2 victory points, which is what we want. Okay, so that was only action 2. I got 1 more action here. I might as well move in and see if I can do it without the Ghast's assistance. Might as well give that a try. So action 3, we'll go ahead and move in to the Enchanted Woods stone trap door, and we'll end our turn there. Okay, so we'll see. I've got a lot of icons. I might be able to throw icons at it and make the thing happen, but we'll see about that. Okay, so that's the end of my turn. During the enemy phase, hunting enemies will hunt. Okay, and then I get to upkeep. Oh, and I draw Greta Wagner. Okay. I'm happy to see Greta here in a little bit, so that's not a bad thing to have in my hand. Pretty okay with that. With all of that, we are to putting a Doom on. There's a Doom. And drawing an encounter card. Dissonant Voices. Okay, so we cannot play assets or events this turn. Well, that means the evidence play won't work this turn. But we could go ahead and just make a wild out investigate here and see if we can get this clue. We could, I don't want to throw Greta, but these other things I don't mind throwing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 investigate icons. And we're at 3 + 1 from Randolph. 4? Not bad. Not bad. Okay. When my turn begins, I get a resource. So we'll go ahead and get that. And then let's take a look here. So it's 2 + 1 for every shroud, or for every card in my hand. Okay. So if I commit 3 cards, they're no longer in my hand. At which point I only have 2 cards in my hand. So the shroud would be 3, and we would be at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, that's actually overcommitting, isn't it? It's actually more than we would need. So let's see. So I go 3 + 1 is 4, 5, 6, 7 on 5. I don't like that as much. Maybe we just crazy overcommit and get this clue. Maybe we just do it. Yeah, let's do. Let's go ahead and get this done. Okay, so we're going to investigate. We're going to be at 3 plus 1 from Randolph is 4. We're going to commit evidence. 5, 6. We're going to commit perception. 7, 8. And we're going to commit the flashlight. 9. Okay, so 9 on 2 from the location plus 1 for every card in my hand, so 4. 9 on 4. We're up 5 on the test. And skulls minus 1. So we get the clue. Okay. These are committed cards. Perception draws us a card. The Faustian Bargain. Okay. And that was action 1. So 2 VP for us. That's great. And then the rest of the turn is just dealing with this ghast, most likely. So we'll go ahead and move in for action 2. Back to the tower. The ghast comes to us. So action 1, investigate. Action 2, the ghast. Action 3, we hammer him. Once again, 9 on 2. And we have 11. 11 on 2. So we smash the ghast. He is gone for action 3. We get to search the top 3 cards of our deck for an ally and draw it. Let's do so. Nope, no allies. Okay, but we do get to shuffle Bought and Blood back in, which I'm pretty happy about. Okay, so that's our turn. There's no enemies on the field. We go straight to upkeep. Okay, better Vicious Blow. That's my leveled up Vicious Blow. 2 of 4. Oh, this is gone because the end of the round. Okay, and our encounter card is... Wow. Huh. That's really funny. This one here, that one there. I did shuffle these. Okay, so no events or assets again. Or events or, yeah, can't play events or assets. Okay. So, that's fine. Greta Wagner will have to wait another round. She can't come out quite yet. Okay, so we get a Lone Wolf resource. And then we're going to move to here and try to get this clue. Okay, so move is action 1. 3, 4 on 2. I'm up 2 on the test. I'll go ahead and throw Faustian Bargain to go up 3 on the test. So we're 5 on 2. Okay, we pass. We get the clue. And another VP. Okay, and then we will move whoosh, right down here to the plane of Ghouls. And we'll flip it as a veiled location. We possess at least 3 per investigator clues. So, having spent considerable time exploring the upper layer, you understand the ghouls' nature a bit more. They are more welcoming than their kin have been in the past, speaking to you in grunting monosyllabic English. As you consider your options, you are approached by one of their kind, who still wears human clothing. Unlike the rest, he is able to communicate with you perfectly. With an air of authority and wisdom about him, he demands to know why you have come to this place. The investigators must spend 3 per investigator clues as a group. Advance the current act, flip this card back over. Okay, so we're going to spend 3 clues. These 3 we'll spend. These 2 we'll keep. Okay, and also action 3 was to move. Okay, we go up here, and we flip the act. An unlikely ally, Randolph gives a shout of recognition as the ghoul approaches. He and the creature shake hands and converse for a short while, after which he introduces you. This is the ghoul I spoke to you about. He's an old friend of mine. and he has offered to guide us through the underworld. He has some dire news, however. Ranulph goes on to explain strange happenings have been occurring within the underworld. He tells of dark forces spreading throughout the veil below the plane of the ghouls, of vile weavers that crawl along the cavern walls, and of a terrible howling cry that penetrates throughout the realm. All of it, he says, emanates from one place, an ocean of pitch in the realm's deepest lair. Choose an investigator to take control of the set-aside Richard Upton Pickman story asset. For the remainder of the scenario, if Richard Upton Pickman leaves play, remove him from the game. Okay, so I will do that. I pick me. I will take control of, oh, here he is, Richard Upton Pickman. Okay. We will take control of him. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. He is a ghoul. You can exhaust him to choose a ghoul, animate your location, and attach it to him face down. And then he picks up a bunch of ghouls and does a bunch of damage for you. You have a whole army of ghouls walking with you through the underworld, which is good. Okay. So we did that. Then put each set-aside veil location into play, and find each card from the Striking Fear encounter set, even if you have to play, and remove them from the game. And then we shuffle the set-aside Terror of the Veil and Night Gaunts encounter sets into the encounter deck along with the discard pile. Okay, so let's put the Veils into play. Okay, these are the Veil locations. They attach here. Let's see here. I have to remember how this goes. It's been a little while. This one goes here. That much I remember. This one I think goes here. And then this one, oh yeah. This one goes down here. This one here. Okay, so that connects to there. Yellow connects to everything. And this one connects to the X and the star and the yellow. And this one only connects to this one and that one. Okay, that is correct. So now let's add some connectors. That goes to there. This one goes to there. Those two connected. These two connected. And we need one more, because you can go that way between here and there. Okay. Veil locations in play. Then, oh yeah, Striking Fear. So that's this one. Whoa. Didn't mean to throw that. Okay, let's see here. And then, what was the other card underneath? Also that one, Striking Fear. Okay, let's search through here and see. Pull out the other Rotting Remains. Okay, and then the only other Distant Voices, I think, is the one that's in my thread area currently. Yeah. And I think that's it in terms of which cards we remove. Okay, and then back down here, I need this guy, which we can also include there. And we can put these away. And then we have to shuffle in the Terror of the Veil and Night Gaunts encounter sets. Night Gaunts. Terror of the Veil. Oh, whoops. That doesn't do any good, does it? There we go. Okay. And that's it. So now we're on this one. The descent. The way to the vale below is treacherous. You'll have to climb down from a place Pikmin calls the Crag of the Ghouls, where the creatures cast the discarded remains of their macabre meals. You can only imagine what the depths might be like. Okay, so same deal. If we kill an enemy with a clue, we get to take it from him. Find the way to the Sea of Pitch. Okay. Will do. Oh, and of course we're beset by monsters. I didn't read this one earlier, but as you continue to explore, the creatures of the underworld grow agitated and begin to pursue you, as if compelled by some unseen force. Okay, so when this one hits 4, we flip this over, and our situation gets worse, but we're not dead yet. We get to keep playing. Okay, so that was that. Now that was the end of our turn. That was our final action, was to move down here to the plane of the ghouls. Okay, so we are done. Turn-wise, there'd be an enemy phase, but there's no enemies in play. So we just upkeep. Oh, I got my garrote wire. Oh, I love it so bad. Okay. 3 of 4 Doom. Giving this guy a good shuffle, right? Yep. Okay, see what we get. And it is a Ghast. Same hunting Ghast we just had before. Now, Ghast is not a ghoul, which is too bad. If only they were. Okay, so we'll have to deal with this guy, but he's fairly easily dealt with. So, let's do that, shall we? Now, let's think for just a moment before our turn begins. Is it worth dragging him down here once again to try to get some clues with him? I've already thrown my evidence away, but I do have Greta Wagner, who I could play in place of the medical student. Yeah, I think it might be worth doing. Okay, so let's do this. When my turn begins, I get a resource. After my turn begins, I can play an ally asset, reducing its cost by 1. So I'll go ahead and play Greta Wagner. And I will play her in place of this medical student for 4 resources. Okay. Now my turn actually begins. I will drag this Ghast with me down here to the Crag of the Ghouls. He will hit me for 1 and 1 for having done so. I will take the 1 and 1 on. Well, I'll take the physical on me. I will take the mental on Greta. Okay. Okay, so that's action 1, was to drag him down here. Action 2 is to hit him with a hammer. We're still at 9. 9 on 2. Actually, we're at 10 now with Greta. 4 or 5 plus 5. 4 plus 1 is 5. So that's 10 on 2. Okay, we smash him. He's dead. That's action 2. Okay, having smashed him, we will exhaust Greta and deal her a damage. And that will get us a clue. Okay, and then action 3 is for us to play the garrote wire. Why have it in your deck if you're not going to play it? So we'll go ahead and put it out there. Okay, that is the end of our turn. Okay, we are at this spot where if we draw a treachery, it'll gain surge and we'll draw another one. I really would prefer to draw an enemy, but we'll see what happens. Okay, no enemies on the field. We hit the upkeep. Intel report, that's good. Okay, and we're at 4 of 4. So we flip this over and see what the back is. The Weaver approaches. Again, you are shaken by a sudden feeling of instability as reality shifts and bends around you. The wave is more intense than before, and it seems to originate from the sea of pitch in the depths of the underworld. Each investigator must either discard one card at random from their hand or lose 2 resources, shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck, place 1 damage on the scenario reference card, then if there's 5 or more, you go to R2, otherwise you flip this agenda over and go again. Okay, so we'll shuffle the discard pile into the encounter deck, and it's 2 resources we have to lose, is that right? Yeah, 1 card at random or 2 resources. Okay, in my situation, I would rather lose the resources than the card right now, so I lose 2 resources. Okay, with Lone Wolf, resources are fairly easy to come by, so that's what we'll do. Okay, so this goes to 0, and we start again. Okay, encounter card. Lit by Deathfire. Okay, revelation. Each investigator loses 1 resource. Each investigator in Vale or Depths location chooses and discards 1 card from their hand. Well, have to do all the stuff anyway. Each investigator at Depths location loses an action. Okay, so we're not at Depths yet. But we do have to lose a resource. And then I have to discard a card. In my case, I'll discard Lone Wolf. But I get to choose the card. That's why it's better. Okay, now I do, but now was a treachery. I do have to draw another treachery because that one gains Surge. Because of the location I'm at. And it's Ancient Evils. Okay, cool. That's just straight up another Doom on the agenda. Okay. Now, back to us. We get a Lone Wolf resource. And then we get to start planning ahead for what we're going to do here. Clue-wise and such. I want all these victory points, so I need to clear this location, that location, and that location. I've got Intel Report to help me do it, and Greta, if I can draw some enemies, will also help me. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so currently I'm investigating at 5 on the Natch. 5 on 2 I feel better about than 5 on 3. Let's see. I think. Well, let's try 5 on 3 once. Yeah, let's try that and see how that goes. Okay. So we're at, oh, actually it's not even 5, it's 4. Okay, so I'm talking about 4 on 3 versus 4 on 2. Well, all right. Then I think we go ahead and move ourselves over here for action 1 to the Sea of Bones. Action 2, let's investigate 4 on 2. Okay, so 3 plus 1 from Randolph is 4. 4 on 2. Hey, that was a -2, just enough. Okay. 4 on 2. Or got us a clue. Okay, so that's action 1. Let's get a clue. Now, when you get a clue from Sea of Bones, though, you got to flip it over. Something below. Traversing this canyon of cadavers and monstrous remains is laborious enough, but it is the churning and digging below the surface that causes you to hate this awful place. What sort of monstrosity could span the entirety of this ocean of bones? Your answer presents itself as soon as you come across a great pit in the ravine. It is swallowing the bones and scraps of rotten meat like a whirlpool. When you reach the base of the tunnel and realize its true purpose, a shudder courses through you. It was made by an enormous creature, the thing that dwells below the Sea of Bones. If there's no Dhole tunnel at this location, there isn't. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for a Dhole tunnel and attach it to this location if able. Shuffle the encounter deck. If Slithering Dhole's in play, he's not. Otherwise, search the encounter deck, discard pile, and victory display for Slithering Dhole and spawn it at this location. Exhausted and with 2 clues on it, flip the card back over. Okay, so we got to put a Dhole hole and the Slithering Dhole out here. Okay, a Dhole tunnel and the Slithering Dhole. And then we shuffle. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Whoops, too far. Okay, so I have the Dhole tunnel. This makes it a place where the slithering Dhole can move to, and then of course the slithering Dhole. He is exhausted, and with 2 clues on it, is that what that said? Yep, that's what that said. Exhausted and with 2 clues on it. Okay. 1, 2. Okay, now he is also VP, so he's probably worth going to get, since we can smash him pretty easily. Okay, so we moved, we investigated. That's our 2 actions. Hunter and Massive. Yeah. Okay. He is elite, so the most damage we can do to him is 2, but that's still pretty okay. And I have a vicious blow, so I could do even more than that to him. Which I think we should probably go ahead and do. Why not? Why wait? That's what I say. Okay. So yeah. So action 3, we're going to smash him with a hammer. We're at 10. Now wait, is it worth trying to Greta Wagner this guy? Nah, I don't think it is. I think we're just going to swing on him. Okay, so we're at 10, plus 2 for Vicious Blow is 12. That's just for action compression, really, is all that is. But we're going to do it anyway. Okay, so 12 on 3. Minus 4 makes us 8 on 3. We succeed by 5. Which means this adds 2 damage, and our hammer also adds 2 damage. So 2, 4 plus 1 is 5, which guess what? Single shots the Dhole. It's fun to do stuff like that. Okay, so we get these 2 clues. And the Dhole goes to the victory display to hang out with the Gug. All right, so that is the end of our turn. There's no enemies in play. We upkeep. Scene of the crime. Okay, cool. Well, I get if I draw an enemy in the encounter phase, or the mythos phase, we'll see. Okay, 2 of 4. I draw Unexpected Ambush. There are no enemies in play. Take a damage and a horror. Well, that's us. So it looks like a damage and a horror are coming our way. Man, I am beginning to think about getting rid of Randolph, but I don't think I will. Okay, I'm going to put a damage on Pikmin, because I can, because he's here, and then I'll give myself a horror. Let's do that. Okay. And that's that. Okay. Back to us. All right. At start of our turn, we get a Lone Wolf resource. Then, well, with enough time and resources, we can clear both these locations, can't we? Because we can do one with Scene of the Crime, we can do one with Intel Report. So, I think that's the plan. I think we're going to post up at the Vale of Panath, and then spend resources to just buy clues. I think that's what we're going to do. Oh, you know what? Except we can't, because of Vale of Panath's ability there. Okay. Yeah, because while there are clues remaining on Vale of Panath, we can't play cards or commit cards to skill tests. So because I can't play cards, I can't use either of these to get that clue on Veil of Panath. So I'll have to get it from here. Yeah, I'll have to get it from here. Okay. Well, let's do it that way then. All right, so action 1 of our turn will be to play Intel Report. I'll pay 4 to play Intel Report, and we will discover a clue at a connecting location using Intel Report instead of at my location, and I'll discover this clue. That's action 1. Okay, and then action 2 is I will go ahead and take a resource. I don't have to, do I? Because I'm going to get one during upkeep, and I'm going to get one for Lone Wolf, so I don't actually have to take a resource here. I'll draw a card. Okay, it's another Gret. That's good. And then action 3. So yeah, 1 was Intel Report, 2 was draw a card, 3 is I move back to here. And this is not a great location to be in during the Mythos phase because your Treachery Surge, but if I'm there at the start of my turn, I can use Scene of the Crime to get the clue, which is what I want to do. Okay, so that's what I do. I'm hanging out here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and this thing we're not even messing with. The Peaks of Thok, we're not going there because it's all about agility and agility tests, and there's no reward. So forget about the mountains. We're not going there. We're just going to clear these. Okay, that's the end of my turn. No enemies in play. Upkeep. There's Steadfast. I wondered where it was. Okay. Then we're at 3 of 4. And we draw an encounter card. It's Grasping Hands. Okay. Test. Agility 3. For each point you fail by, take a damage. Well, not great for Leo. 1 on 3. Okay, so we fail by 2. So we have to take 2 damage. We can put 1 on our scaly friend here, so we will. And then we'll put the other one on Leo. Leo can take some damage. He's got 8. So we've got room to soak damage. That's okay. We will. Okay, now this of course surges, because the location we're at, into Whispers of Hypnos. Okay, easy decision. We will once again make agility -2. All right. Turn begins. I get a Lone Wolf resource. And then for action 1, I can play Scene of the Crime. Hooray. So I do. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. That's action 1. Action 2, I move to here. And we flip it. Okay, if the investigators possess at least 3 per investigator clues, and I do, you venture out into the dark veil and attempt to map out your surroundings. With knowledge you have accumulated, you know that the source of the disturbances within the underworld cannot be in this region. There must be another pathway, perhaps a cavern or tunnel that leads from the veil to a place even deeper beneath the surface of the Dreamlands. As you approach the great stone wall at the far end of the veil, you pick up a foul scent like sulfur and tar. You follow the stench until it leads you to a wide hole in the ground and the wall. Not in the ground, in the wall. The investigators must spend 3 per investigator clues as a group. Advance to current act. Flip this card back over. Okay, gotta spend 3 clues. And we advance the act. Away across, the hole becomes narrower and narrower as you make your way through to the other side of the stone wall. When you finally emerge, you find yourself at the shores of an enormous ocean of pitch-black tar. Webs of glowing violet energy spread across its surface, filling you with an uneasy dread. Could this be related to the horrors you witnessed in St. Mary's Hospital? Just as you are beginning to wonder what to do next, you discover several rowboats of black wood moored in a nearby cove. The hull of each is carved with a strange insignia. Is this luck or providence? Either way, you are determined to set off across the sea and trace this madness to its source. Put each set-aside depths location into play. Shuffle the set-aside descent into the pitch and agents of Atlatch Nacha encounter sets into the encounter deck along with a discard pile. Okay, so we get our depths locations now. That's these. And we get descent into the pitch and agents of Atlatch Nacha. These will go into here. It did say with the discard pile, right? Because it's always with the discard pile. Okay, and these come with us down here. Okay, so these are randomized. We have to shuffle them and then spread them out. Now I have to move where I put my scenario card in this case. Because now there's 4. And they go like that. Well, actually, they don't go like that, do they? They all connect everywhere. So I can go ahead and do one of those even. Okay. So these all connect to every other one. And it all connects to here. Yeah. And same thing. This connects to all these as well. But that's the easiest way to do that. Okay. So let's see. We got a clue. We moved. We flipped this over. We still have 1 action remaining. Oh. Let's go back up and read what we got to do now. The Black Expanse. As you traverse the tar-like sea of pitch, you begin to discern patterns in the unearthly web that glows beneath its surface. After an enemy with one of our clues is defeated, you can take control of it, find the source of the distortion, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we have to find the correct location here. Only one of these will get us out of the scenario. The other ones don't. Okay, so since it's entirely random, I always just start in the lower right-hand corner. And so that's where we're going to go. Okay, so, oh, you know what? This should have 2 on it. It hasn't mattered yet, I don't think. But that we should be at 2. We've put 2 damage, so each of these has 2 shroud right now. Yeah, and what? How much? Oh, it's going to go to 3 very shortly, which is going to get harder and harder for Leo. So it's not going to matter because we're not going to be able to investigate anything this turn anyway. But we need to get out there, so let's do. So action 3 is splash. Well, I guess we're taking a boat, but still, we're going to hang out on the sea of pitch right here. Okay, that is action 3. All right, no enemies in play. We upkeep. Oh, it's the stubborn detective. Even here, the stubborn detective has tracked us down. We looked suspicious all the way back at St. Mary's, and he has followed us all the way into the underworld, into the sea of pitch. Isn't that something? Okay, well, we got a hammer with his name on it, so that's not going to be too hard to deal with. And in fact, he's going to help us get a clue, so that's not too bad. Okay, in the meantime, though, 4, which means same thing as before. Okay, each investigator must either discard 1 card at random from their hand or lose 2 resources. And we shuffle the discard pile back into the encounter deck. Already done. Okay, and then we're going to place the damage on the scenario reference. If there's 5, we lose. Okay, so there's not 5. There are now 3. Okay. And then I have to... Oh, no, I forgot. Oh, random card from hand or lose 2 resources. Okay, well... I can't lose 2 resources. I've only got the 1. So that's going to mean we're going to have to discard a card from hand at random. That's too bad. Because I like both these cards. Okay, we'll choose this one. It's Steadfast. I'm going to keep Gret. All right. Then we still have to draw an encounter card. So let's do On Wings of Darkness. Well, okay. That'll slow us down a little bit. Agility 4. Leo's not going to make that. So let's go ahead and take our test here. 1 on 4. We fail. And we take a damage and a horror. Disengage from each non-night gun enemy engaged with you and move to a central location. Okay, so I have to take a damage and a horror here. Boy, oh boy. I have another Greta in hand. I really don't want to ace her on this, though. I'm just going to put it on me. Damage and a horror. Okay, we disengage from the detective and leave him at the sea of pitch. And he carries us off to the nearest central location. Is it nearest? A central location. Okay, well, I don't want to be here, because I have to make an agility test to get down. The plane of the Ghouls is a central location. I will have him carry me there. Okay. Thanks, Night Gaunt. When our turn begins, we get a resource from Lone Wolf. And then we're going to have to move 1, 2, 3, and they get hit. Let's see, if I went here, I could go 1, 2, and kill him. The problem with that is, oh, you know what? It's the same, isn't it? I'm going to take a damage either way, and this way is going to be better for me. So I will, in fact, drop myself here on the Peaks of Thok. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, that's my central location. Okay, got my resource from Lone Wolf. Now it's my turn. I climb down from the Peaks of Thok for action 1. I have to pass an agility 2 test to not take a damage. I fail. I take a damage. Okay. Action 2. I move back in here again. The detective engages me. Action 3. I hit him with a hammer. I'm swinging 10 on 3. That's -3 currently. So that is enough. He is defeated. And having defeated an enemy, I will exhaust Greta, add a damage to her, and grab a clue. Okay. I'm not... No, I should. I will flip it over. Uh-oh. This one gives me an enemy. That's what I was afraid of. Spider-infested waters. From the depths of the pitch-black ocean, the creatures suddenly emerge. They're similar to spiders in shape, but that's where the similarities end. Their bodies appear to be made from the same terry substance as the ocean itself, and their eyes glow crimson red in the dark fog over the sea. The spiders surround your vessel and attempt to pull it and you into the depths. Shuffle the encounter discard pile on the encounter deck and discard cards from the top until a spider enemy is discarded. Spawn that enemy here with 1 clue on it. If it's swarming, place those clues on the host enemy, and then flip this back over. Okay, so it was move, kill the detective. Okay, so I have to discard cards from the top until I get a spider. I have to shuffle this back in first. Then discard cards. Not a spider. Aha! Pitch spider. Okay. He spawns with me. He is swarming X. X is my evolutionary reference card. And when it attacks me, it deals either its damage or horror. Or it's horror or instead of both. Okay. Neat. Swarming X, where X is 3. Okay, so 3 cards from my deck. That's its swarm cards. Oof, and now it's about to hit me. for, yeah, 2 and 2. Like however I divide that up. Man, yeah, I was kind of afraid of flipping that right before the enemy phase because of this card, and I hit it. So I was like, 1 in 4 chance. No. Oh well. It's okay. It's okay. We can lose some enemies here. And lose some allies here, I mean, and be okay. So, yeah. Let's do that. Okay. It is the enemy phase, so these things attack. They will only hit us for one or the other of the either its damage or its horror, and not both. Okay, and there's 4 of them. I'd like to keep Greta out if I can. So let's do this. We'll have 1 deal of horror. It'll be dealt to Randolph. He'll croak it. Okay, and then the next one can deal it damage. It can deal it to Pikmin. Because we ain't seen any ghouls. He hadn't been any help to us. Okay, and then 2 more are going to hit us, and we'll have boy, oh boy. We'll have a damage and a horror, and put them both on me. Let's do that. Okay, that was an ugly enemy phase. That was pretty rough. Okay, now it's upkeep time. One of 4. Okay, and counter card is... Ha! Now we find a ghoul. Okay. Cool. Well, guess we'll see how this goes. Alright, so when my turn starts, we get a resource from Lone Wolf. Okay, I could put out a renewed Greta here, but I won't yet. Or will I? You know what? I think I will. Yeah, I think I will. I'm gonna use the power, my Leo ability here, and go ahead for 4 and freshen up Greta Wagner. Can I do that? I don't think I can even do that. I don't think that's allowed. I don't think I can bump out a unique with another unique. Okay, I'm not going to do it because I think that's a rules violation and I don't want to cheat. Okay, so I won't do it. Yeah, and then my turn starts. Okay, we're swinging on this pitch spider with this cyclopean hammer. I'm now swinging at 4 plus 1 is 5, plus my will, which is another 4. So I'm swinging at 9, 9 on 2. Okay, action 1, hit the spiders. That is a fail. Do they retaliate? They don't. Okay. Action 2, same thing. Hit the spiders. 9 on 2. Okay, 10. All right, so because of that, we deal an additional 2 damage. So we hit this thing for 3 damage, which is all of my swarm cards. Okay, and then I can garrote wire this one. Which I will. Because garrote wire is +2 on an enemy with exactly 1 remaining health. So I'm garroting at 6, 6 on 4. Wow. Okay. I'm not allowed to garrote. Apparently. Yeah, that's fine, I suppose. Interesting. Okay. Well then, let's go ahead and hammer, I suppose. I'll go ahead and just hammer the spider. Actually, the spider's only hit me for one or the other. The ghoul hit me for both. Let's hammer the ghoul. 9 on 2 for my last action. Okay, I have smote the ghoul. And that is the end of my turn. Okay, enemy phase. This big bubba hits me. I will have him deal damage to Greta, and that will kill her. And that way I can play fresh Greta next turn. Okay. Upkeep. Okay, 45. 2 of 4. We get Taste of Lifeblood. Test will 3. For each point you fell by, you must place one of your clues on your location, place one of your clues on the nearest enemy, or take a damage. Okay, so we're at 4 on this test. 4 on 3. How badly do I care about any of that? I can put a clue on my location, that's fine. I can put a clue on my enemy, that's fine. Neither of those matter very much for me. Take a damage. I don't really want to take a damage. It's the one I don't want to do. Okay, well, let's just take the test and see. I don't think we have to throw steadfast here. There's probably worse things we need to save steadfast for. So 4 on 3. Man. Alright, so minus 3. So that would be 1 on 3, which means you do fail by 2 or more. Choose a ready enemy at your location. Got one. That enemy moves to your location, engages you, and makes an immediate attack. Okay, cool. Cool. Alright, so spider's going to attack me. I'll take damage. Okay, then I was 1 on 3, so I failed by 2. Okay, so I will put a clue on the enemy, and I'll put a clue on the location. Okay. Done and done. Woof. That was awful. Okay, my turn starts. I get a resource for Lone Wolf. I play Greta. For soak and life and stuff. Okay, action 1. I'm moving with Greta, or with the spider to here. The spider will hit Greta. It only will deal horror, just horror, to her. Okay. Then action. Well, actually, not even action 2. I'm gonna use garrote wire to try to choke the spider again. Okay, 6 on 2. I super choke him. He is out. I exhaust Greta. Put a damage on her. Gain this clue. And flip this location. Oh, I found it. Oh, thank goodness. I thought I was going to just fall apart right here at the end in the sea of pitch and and die a miserable death. But luckily it all worked out. Okay, the center of the sea. We have found it. If the investigators possess at least 3 clues, we do. You row further out into deeper, darker waters, but there is still no sign of any other shore. Under the surface of the black, tarry liquid, you can see a series of glittering stars, like an unknown constellation beckoning you forward. If you didn't know any better, you would think that it was a reflection of the sky above. But there is no sky in this dark realm. You lean over the edge of your boat and nearly vomit from the sensation of vertigo that assaults you. It must be hundreds of miles deep and filled with horrors beyond your imagining, and yet you know what you must do. The investigators must spend 3 clues as a group. flip this card over, and advance to current act. Okay, so I spend 3 clues. 1, 2, 3. Oh man, what an ending. That was really kind of terrifying, in fact. Okay, we come up here, and boom. Under the sea of pitch. A pit of fear grows in your chest as you gaze into the thick, dark water. This is the source. Whatever is below the surface of the sea, it holds the answer to everything that has transpired thus far in the waking world. Perhaps you can even find a way to save your friends, or perhaps the ocean will simply swallow you alive. You have no way of knowing for certain. You stand to take a final breath, clenching your fists tightly. Then you take a leap of faith. R1! We did it, everybody. We did it. R1. Okay, so resolution 1 means for each damage on the scenario reference card, record 1 tally mark next to steps of the bridge. So we're going to have 3 steps of the bridge. Not great. I would like to have done it a little bit faster, but with Leo, he's not necessarily the fastest investigator, so I'm happy with 3. That's okay. We get Victory X. We'll have to check our experience to see how much we get. And then we get to move on to the final scenario. Right on. Okay, so let's check our experience here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. None in the sea of pitch. And then 9, 10. 10 VP for us. An excellent result. Now, of course, for the League of Extraordinary Investigators this season, we're capped at 9. So I got max VP in terms of the league, which is great, and 10 to be able to spend on upgrades for my deck, which is a ton. So that's pretty awesome going into the final scenario of this particular campaign. The last scenario is kind of an easier one for Leo once he kind of gets down into the web and fights the giant spider, especially with Cyclopean Hammer. I think we're going to wreck that spider pretty fast. So it's good news. It's very good news. Well, thank you for joining me for this playthrough. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're scoring me, thank you for putting in the time to volunteer to do that. Appreciate that. For those of you who just watched the playthrough, hopefully we'll get to keep doing some more Arkham Horror playthroughs on the channel because it is my favorite game of all time. Anyway, thanks for watching this. We appreciate it. We'll be back with one more in this series, scenario number 4, Weaver of the Cosmos. That'll happen probably sometime in the next couple of weeks. So keep your eyes peeled for that. In the meantime, this is Gary with the Theophilus Games channel saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Good night.